Good morning. Good morning. And as you get here, make sure that you say good morning and let me know that you are here. And I know I'm just a few minutes early getting on here, but I wanted to make sure I had time to do all of this. And I do have an early client again today, so I have to make sure I am done at a specific time because I don't know about you, but a lot of times clients are a little bit early, and I have to make sure that I can be there. All right, so I want to say good morning and that I'm so happy to be here with you guys. And it's going to be an amazing day. Now, here we have liquid sunshine all day today and for the next few days, I believe, unless something drastically changes. But I mean, think of all the beauty that comes from that rain. If you don't, you may not remember, but I talked not too long ago about planting our fig trees. We had them in these big containers, and now they're in the ground. And you can just see because since they've been put in the ground, we've kept watering them, but we've had a couple of rains, and you can see after the rain, it's almost like they're going, oh. I mean, it is the amazing thing that the leaves are greener and it's like they're just really expanding. So now that they're in the ground and they can just grow to their heart's content instead of being contained in those whiskey barrels, um, it is amazing to see. And so this beautiful rain is helping them to dig deeper into the ground and the flowers to grow and the grass to grow, although that just means you have to cut it more often. But hey, it's still growing. And so it's a beautiful thing. Helps to wash down some of the pollen. Doesn't make the travel on the road as great because let's face it, sometimes when it's raining, people are not driving safe. And so it does have its drawbacks, but man, oh man, if we focus on the beauty that comes from the rain, and that's why I like to call it liquid sunshine, because to me, it is the sunshine of the soul kind of thing, because it cleanses, the earth and nourishes the earth. And so it's just beautiful, really. All right, so let me get this up on my phone real quick. All right. It's funny. I'll look and I'll see a live on the on the Facebook group and have to think, wait a minute, what shirt is that? Is that the one that's going right now? And what's going on? Well, you might not find that amusing, but I do. All right, there it is. Oh, thank you for that, Kimmy. All right. So I just noticed that you said good morning and that you put the at everyone on there. And Stacy Harris, it looks like you're here as well. So thank you for being here. And like I said, I know I'm on here just a touch early, but I wanted to make sure that I could say what I needed to say and share the affirmation and the journal prompt because it's always a good one, right? It's always something that we need today. I know it is for me. So let me go ahead and share. Now, I've got both of you guys on here. And so what kind of weather are you having? Because I know, Stacy, I know you're in Georgia, but you're way south of me, if I'm remembering right. And we've got um, pretty heavy rains right now. So I don't know if you are as well. And Kimmy, I don't know what the weather is where you're at. And I see Linda has popped in, and just go ahead and say hello in the comments so other people can see that you're here. And it is pouring rain for you. Yes, yes. So it's going to be beautiful. Everything's going to grow so well. All right. So I didn't even share it. Hold on a second. Well, I always appreciate you doing that for me. All right. So today's affirmation. You're having a quiet day, Stacy? Beautiful. I'm going to be working all day, but I am. Thank you for saying good morning, Linda. I have a really busy day today, but tomorrow on Sunday, I plan on taking a more leisurely day. I mean, today is action packed with all kinds of things all day long. So I really want to take that breath tomorrow. And which is, it's interesting that that's our affirmation for today, right? With each breath, I release fear and welcome in limitless possibilities. And so, and if you think about that, as we, our breath is what keeps us alive. Raining here in New York. All right. Well, maybe it's raining all over the world, right? I don't know. If it is, it needs to, right? But if you think about it, your breath is what keeps you alive, right? Because you can live without water for so long, you can live without food for so long, you can live without people for so long. Good morning, Darcy. I see you popped in. Make sure you say hello and let everybody know that you're here and join in the conversation. But there's the one thing that you cannot live without is your breath, right? It's raining in Kansas. Raining is like crying, can be unpleasant, but cleanses the soul. Yes, yes. Beautiful. I love that, Stacy. And, so our breath is paramount to living, right? And to be able to use the breath as a way to just release fear and welcome in your limitless possibilities. I mean, we're breathing all day long. And so I love to say, the things that we want to bring into our lives and we want to focus on. Thank you for that, Darcy. I love you. But bringing in, oh gosh, I've got a hair on my face. Oh, there we go. The thing is that I like to say when we've got something that we want to produce in our life or a feeling that we want to have in our life, we anchor it in with something, right? Whether it's, something we do with our hands, something we got in our pocket. Like recently, remember for the month of April, I started saying that just imagine that you've got to just get a magnet and put it in your pocket, which was an anchor for you to realize that you are magnetically drawing things to you all the time. And so that's what that was an anchor. So now today we're anchoring our release of fear and welcome in limitless possibilities to our breath. So just think, every time you breathe, so I like to say that we're breathing in limitless possibilities. And when we breathe out, we're releasing the fear. Now, whether you're sitting there in the moment and you're saying, I'm bringing in possibilities and I'm releasing fear, now that we can anchor it to that. And there are different things that we do, like I do in hypnosis and different things that anchor it in even more. And if that's something you want some help with, definitely reach out. But the thing is that just by saying that and believing that, you don't have to focus on it all the time, but it's good if you do. But however, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, that's going to be doing that for you all the time. So Darcy says, I just found that freedom from fear. I have to tell you what has happened to me that healed me, and I'm free of all the fear since I was a guest on our podcast. Ooh, well, you'll have to share. You'll have to share. Yes, definitely. We need to have a conversation, Darcy. Definitely. So remember, every time you breathe in, whether you are saying it to yourself or not, you are breathing in limitless possibilities. Doesn't that sound delicious? Doesn't that sound amazing? Just to know that just by breathing, doing the natural thing, you're breathing in limitless possibilities. Because let's face it, whether we really feel like we deserve it or not, whether we believe it or not, we are full of limitless possibilities. We've just let our lens of the world, we've let our things that have happened to us, the things that people have said, and all the things hold us back to think that there's something we have to fight for, to strive for, when it's actually our birthright to have limitless possibilities. And they're all there. Like the member we've talked about, yes, take it back to the breath. It's all within us. Yes. And so remember when I've talked about my Prius, and that when I first bought it, I never saw them anywhere. And then suddenly they were everywhere. But it's because I was focused on it and it was in my reality, right? It's what I was in my physical reality. And so I was focused on it more. And before that, I had a Jeep. I saw all the Jeeps, right? So what I'm saying is that if you will look at the fact that your birthright, your breath allows you to see your limitless possibilities, because like I said, they're all there. It's just we're not focused on them. We cannot see them. There are, and I may be off on the numbers because I haven't really looked at it in quite a while, but I think it's like there are 50 billion bits of information that are coming at us all the time from everywhere. The things that are happening around us, the things that people are saying, the noises, all of it, right? And we are only able to see 2,000 bits per second. Now, like I said, I'm probably off on the numbers, but you get the gist. There's a hell of a lot of shit happening all around us all the time, and we only see this little bitty piece. And the part that we see are the things that we have adopted into our subconscious mind and our conscious mind as truth of who we are. And so yes, Kimmy, our whole being and the things that happen to us are all dependent on all the information that we gathered in our subconscious mind from the ages of 0 and even before. We actually do have it's 60,000 thoughts we have a day, and 80% are negative thinking. That is true. That is true. But when we are in the womb, they have done studies where the embryo can actually hear and feel and sense all the things that are happening. And so you start getting some of your information while you're in the womb about how people are talking about the fact that they're pregnant, how people are experiencing life. We start internalizing all of that before we're even born. And then once we're born, the things that people say, how they care for us, all this stuff plays a part in oh yeah, definitely. Stacy, I know for a fact because when I work with a client and I ask them to tell me what they want, oh my gosh, 99 out of 100, and I leave that one because I'm waiting for it. But I have not had one person that didn't start with, well, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want that, because we naturally focus on the negative. And part of the reason is because it is a safety factor that our subconscious mind has, because it wants to keep us safe. And so we remember all the things that went wrong so that we don't feel that again, or so that we realize that it's not so much that we don't feel that again, it's that we survived that. And since we survived that, our subconscious mind has it logged in. Okay, if they survived this thing happening to them, then it's okay. And if they step outside of that, we want to make sure that they don't stay there too long, because we don't know if they can survive that. And so it becomes this perpetual loop in us that we remember all the things that happened that could have been detrimental, yet weren't, so that we can stay safe. And it sounds counterintuitive, and it really is in some ways, but it is a mechanism that's set in place to keep us alive. And it has just gone haywire with the different things that we've been inundated with in our lives, right? And so you get to this place where it's important to make changes, right? It gets important to, I want to have a different life. I want to have a different experience. And then it's like, we're working on what do we need to do to get there. And this is part of it. If we can use our breath as a way to just bring in limitless possibilities, and it's not necessarily to bring it in because it's already there. It is being open. Our breath opens us up to limitless possibilities and the actualization in our mind that it's happening. And so, even if you're not consciously thinking of it, since we've spent so much time talking about it this morning, then the thing is that since we've been talking about it this morning, it has become something that your subconscious mind is contemplating. Is that true? Is it not true? And so each time you use this affirmation, it's going to reinforce the fact that that is true and help you to be more open to all the limitless possibilities around you, to not only be open to, but to see them, because like I said, they're there all the time. They're all around us. We just can't see them. And, because a lot of our limiting beliefs from our past hold us back. And it's like, I don't even remember who it was that said the thing is, I think it was Ford, but I can't remember. Whether you believe you're right or you believe you're wrong, you're correct in both assumptions, because whatever you believe, you will be, right? And beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes. Stacy, one of the journal prompts that we had not too long ago was to write out all the negative things that were going on, the things that were holding you back, and to reframe them into a more positive experience. And so it's a beautiful when you can do that. And when I first started doing this work, I thought I was pretty damn positive. Turns out I wasn't. I had negative self-talk all day long. And it took a lot of work and a lot of inner work to get to a place where I could catch it before I said it. Or I didn't even start, I got to where I wasn't even having those thoughts at all, right? Yes, yes. We all pray for that, for because Stacy is amazing. She is now a TikTok influencer and doing some amazing things. And so she's a joy to watch, that's for sure. So Darcy, if you have not seen her TikToks, you need to check her out. All right, so now I'm going to get to the journal prompt because, like I said, I've got a limited amount of time this morning. Okay. Well, it is so cool to see because you have gone so far out of your comfort zone, Stacy, that I am so amazingly proud of you. You are doing amazing things. All right, our journal prompt today is: what fears are holding you back from reaching your full potential? What are they? What are those fears? Now, what would be really good is, just as Stacy was just talking about, her therapist has told her to write down all of the negative thoughts that she's having so that she can kind of get rid of them, right? But with this journal prompt of what fears are holding you back from reaching your full potential, I want you to write those down, right? And beside each one, just like I said, we did in another journal prompt earlier, I want you to write down beside each one of the things that the fears that are holding you back. I want you to write down beside each one of those a positive action or a thought that could help you to overcome this fear, to release this fear. Now we've got our breath doing some work for us. It's breathing out is releasing the fear, and breathing in is bringing in limitless possibilities, right? And so when you are writing out what are the fears that are holding you back, and you may have to take some moment of silence to just sit and just ask yourself, ask your higher self, ask God, ask the universe, whatever your belief system is, help me to figure out what are the fears that are holding me back. And you may not even see them as fears. You may just see them as a stumbling block. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fear. That's just a word, right? It's an emotion, a feeling, right? So what is it that when you say you want to, let's say you're wanting to speak on the stage, okay? You're wanting to be a speaker, but every time it comes time to reaching out to someone and scheduling a speaking engagement, something stops you. Something comes up that, oh, I can't do that right now. I'll do something else. And you go do something else, and then you do something else, and you don't do it. Maybe it's that you work at a company and you want to ask for a raise, but for some reason, every time you start to schedule the conversation with the person that you need to, something always comes up. Now, when I say something comes up, it may not be an actual thought like, I want to wait. It can be things that pop up like suddenly your car breaks down. Suddenly you're involved in a car accident. Suddenly there's all these little catastrophe things that can happen. And those are also things that show up to keep us back, right? Like I've shared before about when I had this period of time in my life where I had a lot of automobile accidents. Not a damn one of them was my fault, right? Not a damn one of them. I was driving, minding my own business. But the thing is that my thoughts were mine. And so I could link it back when I went back and looked. The thoughts that were in my head was about angst about something, about I was in a relationship with someone that it was going really bad, and so some of that was in my mind on some of those accidents. And so it's like when especially like if you're a person that is having issues with you know um uh, people leaving you or people not being kind to you or whatever, if you've got all these thoughts and stuff in your mind, you can actually, like I had that magnet in our pocket, remember? Our thoughts and everything draw things to us. So when what's holding you back emotionally can actually draw things to you that will hold you back physically. Whether that is, like I said, the car breaks down, there's an accident, you know, somebody gives you the wrong information. It's something, but it's not just fears, it is our emotions about things. And so get into this space where you sit quietly and you learn what is holding you back. And it could be anything, right? So brain dump as much as possible, even if it sounds like the most ridiculous thing that has nothing to do with anything, write it down. And then you're going to be really surprised when you get all that out. Fear of abandonment, fear of loss, fear of rejection. Yes, yes. There are so much of that, definitely. Fear of guilt, fear of fleeing a violent situation, fear of failure. Yes. So write out as much as you can. And like I said, if something keeps popping up in your life, like mine was these car accidents, and I was not at fault in any of them. And one of them, I did get a good bit of money out of. Well, it depends. It really wasn't that much, but at the time it felt like a lot of money. And one of the things that was happening to me at that point was I was in desperate need of money. I was in desperate need of money, and it was the top of my thoughts. And I came to the realization that I had that accident to get that money. And so let's be really careful of what our thoughts are, right? So, like when it comes to the money thing, it's like now if I'm in this place where I'm looking for how can I make a little bit more money? How can I, and all this stuff, I start thinking, you know, this is the amount of money that I would like to have where it's a benefit to everybody involved, because I know that my energetic vibration about that money is why I had that accident. And so just think about that. And because we are amazing at creating, and most of the time we're doing it without an idea in our head that that's what's going on. All right. So, but fear is only a figment of our own imagination, and it all starts with our thoughts. If you can just get hold of your, let me see what else it is. All right. Oh. All right. So there's too much there for me to read right now because I've got to pop off here. But thank you so much for being here live with me this morning. This has been amazing. I love it. I love it. And thank you for sharing so much in the comments. And I can't wait to hear from you, Darcy, to hear a little bit more about what is going on in your life. And maybe we can do another podcast. Who knows? And Stacy, thank you for being here and sharing, and Kimmy as well. And I'm thinking it was there was somebody else. Oh, la, la, la. Let me find it. Let me find it. Linda, yes, Linda, thank you for being here. So I am so appreciative to each and every one of you this morning. And I would love to stay on here and have this conversation a lot longer. I really would. I just have to go. So I will see you tomorrow at what time do I do tomorrow? 10 a.m. Eastern, right here. Same time, same channel. I'll see you there. Mwah.